want to start with the news out of Japan because, Japan is sort of seen as in some ways a template for other countries to follow because they have taken the step to embrace cryptocurrencies, especially given the past history with Mt. Gox. I mean, the thinking here was that regulators have a better grasp there, and yet this latest hack seems to show that they simply aren't able to catch up quick enough to all the movements that's happening in the space.
Yes, you're completely right. But I also think that this move sets kind of the direction of how probably many other countries should do maybe something similar. There's so many new exchanges. They're quite young. They're very aggressive in their marketing techniques, and they have a lot of users. And we don't really know how established and how well the security measures are. And with CoinCheck, we've maybe seen only the tip of the iceberg, or maybe we have seen one black sheep among everyone else doing it right. So that's going to be the point to see going forward.
When you say it's just the tip of the iceberg, what are some other things that we could see fall by the wayside, especially as regulators try to crack down on the security aspect?
I mean, CoinCheck is quite a large exchange, but there's way larger exchanges that have billions of dollars in daily trading volume. And so if one of these exchanges goes down, it could have ripple effects on the entire ecosystem, maybe even larger as Mt. Gox had a couple of years ago.
Juliana, CoinCheck perhaps wasn't using a cold storage system or that multi-signature program to protect its clients and its investors' assets.
Yeah, I made a tweet right after that news came out, and I said, look, any company can do its best, and any company, I think, is always trying to protect investors and coin holders, but not having a hot storage, not having a cold storage, at least for them, and we don't really know what happens to many of the other coins. Maybe they were just lucky that nothing else got stolen. That is absolutely inexcusable, and let's see what's going to be the regulatory or maybe the legal measures that Japan takes from that against the founders or against the owners.
So would you expect to see more regulations around that side of things, particularly in Japan and also perhaps in South Korea, more focus on actually protecting investors' interests in this space?
I expect that, but I also want to add that I don't necessarily see some type of regulation as negative. I think especially this ecosystem that's a bit like the Wild Wild West needs some kind of hand-holding and needs some regulation, because otherwise we see companies doing whatever they want. And I think people tend to forget a bit with all these coins and these funny logos and funny names that there's actual money at stake. And if people lose their money or sometimes their livelihood just because they put money in there and they trust these companies, if that money is gone, that is really something terrible for many, many people. And so I think it's necessary for regulators and maybe governments to step in.